The Story of the Bull and the Ass, by Arabian Folk Tales, brought to you by TellStory.net, stories from around the world. There once lived a merchant who was rich in goods and cattle. He had a wife and children and dwelt in the country, skilled in the ways of husbandry. God had gifted him with a wondrous ability. He could understand the speech of beasts and birds of every kind. But this gift came with a terrible condition. If he ever revealed it to anyone, he would die. So he kept his secret, speaking of it to no one. In his stable, he kept an ox and an ass, each tied in their own stall near to each other. One day, as the merchant sat nearby, he heard the ox speaking to the ass.
I rejoice for you, Father Wakeful. You live in comfort and ease. Your stall is always swept and sprinkled clean, and they feed you sifted barley and fresh water. But I am forever weary. They wake me in the middle of the night, gird the yoke upon my neck, and set me to plowing. I toil without ceasing from dawn until sunset, working beyond my strength. I suffer blows and abuse from the plowmen, and when I return home, my sides are torn and my neck is raw. Then they shut me in the cowshed and throw me beans and straw mixed with earth and husks, and I lie all night in dung. But your place is always swept and clean, your manger full of sweet hay, and you rest easy. Only sometimes does our master ride you, and he returns with you quickly. So you rest while I toil, you sleep while I wake, you feast while I hunger.
O broadhead, you are rightly named ox, for you are stupid in the extreme. You have no thought or craft. You show great zeal and do your utmost for your master, killing yourself for another's benefit. You go forth at dawn and return not till sunset, enduring blows, fatigue, and abuse all day long. When you return and the plowman ties you to your stinking manger, you frisk and paw the ground and bellow, and they think you are content. As soon as they throw you your fodder, you fall upon it greedily. But if you would follow my counsel, you would have twice as much rest. When you go forth tomorrow and they lay the yoke on your neck, lie down and do not rise, even if they beat you. Rise only to lie down again. When they bring you home, fall on your back and refuse your fodder. Feign sickness for a day or two, and you will have rest from your toil and weariness.
The ox thanked the ass greatly for this advice and called down blessings upon him. The merchant heard all that passed between them. The next day, the plowman took the ox and yoked him to the plow as usual. But the ox began to fall short in his work, acting according to the ass's advice. The plowman beat him until he broke the yoke and fled. The man overtook him and beat him until he despaired of life, yet still the ox would only stand still and fall down. When evening came, the plowman took him home and tied him in his stall. But the ox withdrew from his manger, neither frisking nor stamping nor bellowing as usual. The plowman wondered at this and brought him beans and straw, but the ox only smelled them and left them untouched, lying down at a distance. He passed the night without eating. The next morning, the plowman came and found the straw and beans untouched, and the ox lying on his back with his belly swollen and his legs in the air. The plowman was concerned and said to himself,
"He has certainly fallen ill, and this is why he would not work yesterday."
He went to his master and told him the ox was sick and would not touch his fodder. The merchant knew what this meant, for he had overheard the conversation between the animals.
"Take that knave of an ass, and bind the yoke on his neck. Make him do the ox's work."
The plowman took the ass and made him work all day beyond his strength to accomplish the ox's task. He beat him until his skin and ribs were sore and his neck was raw from the yoke. When evening came, the ass could hardly drag himself home. As for the ox, he had lain all day resting and had eaten his fodder cheerfully. All day long he had called down blessings on the ass for his good counsel, not knowing what had befallen his friend. When night came and the ass returned to the stable, the ox arose to greet him.
May you be gladdened with good news, Father Wakeful. Through you, I have rested today and have eaten my food in peace and comfort.
The ass made no answer, for he was consumed with rage, vexation, and fatigue from the beating. He said to himself,
All this comes of my folly in giving another good advice. As the saying goes, I was lying at full length, but my officiousness would not let me be. But I will trick him and return him to his place, or else I shall perish.
The next day, as the merchant and his family sat on their terrace on a moonlit night, he heard the ass speaking to the ox.
Tell me, Father Broadhead, what do you mean to do tomorrow?
What but follow your advice? Your counsel was excellent and has brought me complete rest. I will not depart from it in the least. When they bring me my fodder, I will refuse it and feign sickness and swell out my belly.
Beware of doing that.
Why?
Know that I heard our master say to the laborer, if the ox does not rise and eat his fodder today, send for the butcher to slaughter him. Give his flesh to the poor and make a rug of his skin. I fear for you on account of this. So take my advice before misfortune befalls you. When they bring you fodder, eat it and arise and bellow and paw the ground, or our master will surely slaughter you.
The ox arose immediately and bellowed, thanking the ass.
Tomorrow I will go with them readily.
Then he ate up all his fodder, even licking the manger clean with his tongue. The merchant, who had heard all this, laughed at the ass's trick until he fell backward.
Why do you laugh?
I laughed at something I saw and heard, but it is a secret. I cannot disclose it, or I shall die.
You must tell me the reason for your laughter, even if you die for it.
I cannot reveal it for fear of death.
You were laughing at me!
And she did not cease to pester him. The merchant loved his wife greatly. She was his cousin and the mother of his children. Worn down by her demands, he finally assembled all his family and kinsfolk, summoned the judge and witnesses, and prepared to reveal his secret and die. He made his last arrangements, appointed guardians for his children, and freed his slaves. All who were present wept. The judge and witnesses came to the wife and said,
We beg you, give up this matter, lest your husband die. He would not hide it from you, if revealing it did not mean his death.
But she replied,
By God, I will not stop until he tells me, even if he dies for it.
The merchant rose and went to the stable to make his ablutions and pray before revealing his secret. Now he had a rooster with 50 hens and a dog. As he entered, he heard the dog speaking to the rooster in the animal's language.
How mean is your wit, O rooster! Our master is in such trouble, about to die, and you clap your wings and crow and fly from one hen's back to another's. Are you not ashamed? Is this a time for sport?
And what troubles our master?
The dog explained how the merchant's wife demanded to know his secret, though telling it would kill him.
Then our master has little wit. If he cannot manage one wife, his life is not worth keeping. See, I have 50 wives. I favor this one in anger that I stint one and feed another, and through my governance they are all under my control. Our master has but one wife and cannot manage her.
What should our master do?
He should take a stick and beat her soundly until she says, I repent, my lord. I will never again ask this question as long as I live. Then he will be free from care and enjoy his life. But he has neither sense nor judgment.
When the merchant heard the rooster's words, he went to his wife, having hidden a stick in an empty room.
Come with me into this room, and I will tell you my secret where none can see.
She entered gladly, thinking he would tell her his secret. He locked the door, then took the stick and beat her soundly on her back and shoulders.
Will you ask questions about what is none of your business?
He beat her until she cried out,
By God, I will ask no more questions. Indeed, I repent sincerely.
She kissed his hands and feet in submission. He unlocked the door and went out. When he told the company what had happened, they rejoiced, and mourning turned to joy. The merchant had learned good management from a rooster, and he and his wife lived happily until death.